international flavor in the house here tonight, Tempest. Gringo Loco defending the DDT Universal Championship.
An international flavor indeed, Hutch. You've got an American guy defending a Japanese championship in a Canadian wrestling ring. You only get things like this in a Demand Lucha ring. So I'm very glad to be commentating it, sat right next to you today.
Gringo Loco grabbing that title at a Defy Tokyo Joshi Pro and DDT show. They had a couple shows in a row, but Gringo Loco, this isn't the only gold. He's got the Defy Tag Team Championships. He's got the Demand Lucha Royal Tag Championships. This guy's been collecting gold all year long, and it happened right after being Premier Champ here for almost 2 full years.
That's, of course, he is no stranger to gold in Demand Lucha. The man is addicted to gold. That gold that he is currently wearing around the ring. He won that just over a month ago in a 3-way match with Miyu Yamashita and AEW's Nick Wayne. Not any kind of competition you want to take lightly, but the same can be said about his opponent here today.
And his opponent, hailing from St. Louis, Missouri, by way of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing in tonight at 185 pounds, he is the challenger, Sydney Akeen.
This is going to be the sleeper match of the night. You think you had a fun time watching Freddie and Zacco at it? This is going to be nuts.
Well, this is an opponent very different from what Gringo Loco has been used to. Gringo Loco, of course, one of the greatest high flyers in the American wrestling scene today. But Sydney Akeem brings a very different style of high flying to his wrestling acumen. He is one that is born and bred off of acrobatics and flicks, and he will try and use that aerial acumen to his advantage to walk away the DDT Universal Champion here today.
While the previous champion only held the belt for 1 day, 1 defense, maybe it'll happen again. I mean, DDT Pro, they got the heavy metal weight, iron, something or other. I mean, it is not a normal promotion. You think we're a party here? Geez, they're like a circus over there. So this belt could change hands 3 times between here and the airport.
It absolutely could. I am, in fact, no stranger to the DDT Iron Heavy Metalweight Championship. They're a promotion that I think fits very well with the fun and games nature of Demand Lucha here. But just like Demand Lucha, DDT not a promotion that is afraid of its fair share of spectacular matches like we are likely to get here.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty nuts. Tickets surged when we announced this match. Jody Threat was going to take on Gringo Loco, and this opportunity came up for this match, and we booked it right away, and tickets did indeed surge.
Now, this is not the ovation that Gringo Loco is used to getting here at Parkdale Hall. Flipping the scripts himself, if I do say so myself.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, Sydney's had some pretty fun characters. I mean, he was Reggie over there at WWE for a while, 24/7 champ. He was obviously the mass scripts, which everybody loves. But he's gained, like, people, they have an affinity for him. They saw him in a bad situation. They saw that perhaps he was getting made fun of. He wasn't being given the best opportunities, you know, like kind of they were pulling his leg a bit. So now that he's on the indies, people are fully behind Sydney Akeem, and he has one hell of an in-ring style. This guy, a former tumbler and circus performer for 15 years, and thought, you know what, I'll try something different, and wrestling was that thing.
Well, that's exactly it, Hutch. You look at the offense already on display from Sydney Akeem. How few performers in all of wrestling come from the kind of background that he does? How many people are able to pull off moves just like that backflip that we just saw? The acrobatic style here, perfectly on display. These two very evenly matched.
Well, you also got to be tough. You got to be able to be on the road all the time, travel. Trust me, circus performers are tough. They do not have an easy life, and they travel a lot. Sydney Akeem slid right into pro wrestling just like a glove. And he is tough. He can take a beating, and Gringo Loco's planning to give it to him.
Well, Gringo Loco knows how to mix it up with the best high flyers in the world. You've seen him, of course, in DDT as of late, in GCW. You've seen him on AEW as well. So he has got more than his fair share of high flyers, having wrestled in 2024 already. But still, I'm not quite so sure that he has faced anybody quite like Sidney Akeem, certainly not in Demand Lucha.
Well, you know, Sidney, like I said, a former tumbler and circus performer. You're putting over Gringo Loco, the base god, not only a great base, but a great high flyer. But he is not given, perhaps as Matt Hardy would say, he's not given his flowers often enough. I mean, Gringo Loco trained by Jorge Rivera, by Skida himself, one of the most legendary luchas of all time. We're talking that ground and pound chikara style that Orange Cassidy has, Claudio Castagnoli. This guy can roll and tumble and tie you in knots just as good as anybody else. He goes to the high-flying moves because he likes to.
Well, Gringo Loco has worked into his repertoire defensive maneuvers for high flyers better than anybody, but today it's Sidney Akeem with a huge dive through the middle rope, wiping out Gringo Loco. There's only so much preparation that one can do against the unique offense of Sidney Akeem, and he is indeed rolling.
It doesn't matter how much training you have in the Llave style, that lucha libre ground and pound submission style I was talking about, it's not going to help you when somebody's suicide diving you right in the face.
That's it. Now Sidney Akeem trying to settle things down, brings the crowd to a whisper.
Oh, man. It's like a soul butt style kick right to the gut. Brad Myers asking him, you okay, Gringo? That's the kind of thing he'll take you out. I mean, earlier, Freddie, Dose gave him a kidney shot, and man, you could see the pain on Freddie's face. He doubled right over from one single little quick shot right to the side. Does not take much. We saw an injury earlier tonight. It always comes when you least expect it. It's never from the big moves. It's always the little moves that'll get you.
Well, it's a shot to the gut like that can be debilitating for a performer. Saps all the wind out of your lungs.
And it does appear that Sidney Akeem is in fact a performer. Look, once again, showboating to the crowd. He could end up being his own worst enemy in this match. Gringo Loco is tough as nails, and if you want to have too much of a good time, he's going to make you pay. Oh, right to the side of the temple.
Well, that's just it. Sidney Akeem comes from the land of performance. He comes not only from the land of circus, but he comes from the land of sports entertainment.
Very
where
true.
He is the one to get the crowd involved in all of his matches, to take the extra few moments to soak in the adulation. Now, that may or may not play to his strengths in a match against a very tenured, very well-experienced Gringo Loco, but that much remains to be seen.
I think Gringo Loco going on almost 15 years, maybe a little more. I mean, he is no spring chicken when it comes to pro wrestling. Oh, big mule kick right up into the upper ribs and the sternum. Gringo Loco, maybe I spoke too soon. Sidney Akeem is showing him where it's at, Tempest.
A drop kick with pinpoint precision.
And not nearly the in-ring experience of Gringo Loco, Sidney Akeem, but certainly holding his own, that's for sure. Look at this, the Alabama Slam. Oh, no. And wow, sit out. Absolutely brutal.
Only good for a near fall was that sit-out powerbomb, however. Now, you may talk about the lack of in-ring experience and the quantity of years that Sidney Akeem has in comparison with someone like Gringo Loco, but the first through the door with a brand new offensive style could set the tone of a next generation. And someone like Sidney Akeem, who is so much a one-of-one type performer, he could be the type to come in there and shock a lot of these more experienced wrestlers with just a style that they're not familiar with.
Yeah, well, we've already put over Gringo Loco's affinity in the Ave style, in the high-flying style, but he just showed for a moment there his third style. He is a brawler, and he is evil. He will choke you. He'll stick his fingers in your eyes. He'll throw you to the concrete, and he will kick the crap out of you. Gringo Loco is a triple threat.
That's it. He's a particularly mean man when he wants to be.
A mean man.
He is soaking in the cheers from the crowd. Again, somewhat unexpected here, but Gringo Loco, of course, is no stranger to the fans of Demand Lucha. He has been a premier champion here. He has earned the people's respect, even against a worldwide superstar like Sidney Akeem.
Well, Toronto is very close to Montreal, so we like assholes as well. It's fine. He's won over the crowd over the years. He's a little abrasive, but hey, you know what? He's, like I said, he's won us over. He's our abrasive asshole. Wow, and fighting back from underneath. Sidney, a couple of chops there. Running him ragged. Oh, kitchen sink.
Well, that's just it. Toronto, a bit of a rough and tough town as they come. We have no problem with people that want to play a little bit dirty as long as they get the job done. And Gringo Loco has gotten the job done in Demand Lucha more times than perhaps anyone else.
You just see that forearm across the face? That wasn't subtle either. He took him all the way from one side to the other and ground his face in on that pin. But Sidney, like I was saying earlier, circus performers, he's tough. He kicked right out of that. But he is looking a little worse for wear right now. Gringo, we've seen this before. Going to tie him in knots, pull him up, put him in a headlock. This is brutal.
Oh, he's got each of his limbs wrapped up, biting the fingers as Sidney Akeem here.
He's put him in, before he did this, he pulled him up and had him in a headlock a couple months ago to a guy. He was absolutely like a front face lock. Dude, it looked like he was gonna break him in half. Gringo Loco coming out with new and interesting moves, variations all the time. That's that Yave style I was talking about. Classic Lucha Libre ground and pound submission moves. You know, all the Gory Guerrero moves. I mean, just really interesting stuff you're going to see in Lucha Libre, and Gringo Loco doesn't bust it out often, but he is well versed. Top rope.
Sidney Akeem up top. Whoa! Almost getting caught in the chandelier. It's Sidney Akeem with a huge crossbody.
I think both performers were shocked at the height and the impact of that crossbody. Sidney Akeem doesn't even know his own strength, his own abilities. Wow, now Gringo muscling him into position here.
Oh my goodness!
You saying you want to see impact, you want to see height? Let me show you my version.
An emphatic slam, only good for a 2 count. But Sidney Akeem reeling from the landing put on display there.
Gringo gonna try and get the fans behind him here. Taking a few moments to catch his breath. Contemplate what kind of tortures he wants to put Sidney Akeem under next. Putting him right where he wants him, that's a sign of a pro.
Who's ready to see a dead body?
I am. Feeling comfortable in the ring. Moving your opponent around, taking control. Gringo Loco lives in that ring. It's like breathing. It's like taking a breath to him, being in there.
Gringo Loco poised. Reverse split leg, sit out moonsault. Only a 2 count.
And he just crushed the face of Sidney Akeem there, Tempest. Oh, right on the face.
What a great sit out moonsault that was.
Back to live here. Gringo rolling out of the ring. What's he looking for? Do we have more doors and chairs under there? Bloody hell.
I was about to say, many times tonight we've seen the furniture come into play, and this isn't a match that can be operated with no DQ and no count out.
A fan
a championship match.
He doesn't drink that stuff. He's like, no, I don't want that stuff. Give me a break. No way, man.
A chair being produced, a couple of them by Gringo Loco. And he's not done yet.
Oh, and a door. Oh, and a luchador. Sidney Akeem absolutely jelly-legged in the ring, trying to get to his feet, but not accomplishing it. Gringo in there now obviously has a plan, and that includes probably whacking him with this chair. Wow, right to the side of the head.
Goodness gracious.
That was dirty. Gringo has no care. That's why the fans cheer him so much.
Based on the reaction that he might be getting from these fans, he's still willing to do whatever it is that it's going to take in order to retain his championship.
I almost forgot the DDT Universal Championship here on the line. First time I think maybe it's being defended here in Canada. I don't know, I gotta check that out, but we are lucky to have it here, and a blooming, growing relationship with DDT here. We've been talking with them, maybe gonna be doing some more stuff, get some of their athletes here at Demand Lucha. Oh, and maybe Sidney Akeem will be coming back as the reigning DDT Universal Champion if I had my way, let me tell you, Tempest.
Well, he's still got a long way to go if he wants to take out Gringo Loco and capture that championship. Gringo Loco still currently in the driver's seat. The door not cooperating with whatever Gringo had in mind.
Sidney rolled out of the ring. Did he roll out of the ring? The door's blocking me now, but that's a smart move, man. Gringo's like, you know what? We need 2 chairs. Each side needs 2 chairs because I want to balance this properly. Oh!
Going to town on those plastic chairs now. Those plastic chairs have extra corners that your average steel folding chair doesn't have. So while you might think that it would have a bit more give, really there's just more ways for our athletes to get hurt.
You get the split and pinch. You know what I'm talking about? You get the split and then it just catches you a bit and you get that
Absolutely.
little... Oh, it's awful. It's like stubbing your toe or getting a paper cut. It's brutal.
Again, you want to talk about the little injuries that pile up over the course of one of these nights.
Dude, like on my 20th paper cut, that's it. Write me off. I'm done. It's like torture.
That's why we've got men like these competing for the DDT Universal Championship here tonight.
Real men who can handle paper cuts.
Real men. It'll take more than 20 paper cuts to get one of them to give up in this match.
Hey, wait, I don't think it's... Watch, again, he's like, I'm going to put you like this now. And I'm just going to smash your head. It's the logistics of being a pro wrestler sometimes can just get to you, you know? It's like, can't it just be easy?
It's a complicated business, I'm afraid.
This is why you need a personal assistant. He sets up the tables for you, double checks it all while you're beating your opponent. Gringo Loco doesn't have time for all this Mickey Mouse bullshit, you know what I mean?
No, he doesn't have time for any of it. He just wants to take out Sidney Akeem with one final blow.
Oh, wasting time, speaking of which. Oh, nobody home!
The twisting corkscrew press through the door, giving Sidney Akeem a sign of life that he has not had for quite some time. He's trying to get the crowd fired up because this could be his chance to write his name in the history books of DDT.
Yeah. Gringo Loco's going to have a twisted sciatic nerve. That's his Christmas present this year. That is not the first time I've seen him miss that move, but I've seen him hit it too. It's devastating enough, and Sidney Akeem got lucky. He'd have been 1, 2, 3 and in the back by now, but here we go. Hopefully going to get something going on. Sidney Akeem going to be the new DDT Universal Champ. Soulbutt, straight kick. Reversal underneath, sliding. Wow.
Just a twisting crossbody, knocking down Gringo Loco. Gringo Loco getting lit up by Sidney Akeem and his flurry of offense.
Wow, it looked like a 450 kick, like a Trouble in Paradise, but just kept going, turned it into a crossbody. Absolutely impressive. Oh, wow.
A step-up kick now. Again, where else can you see any of this offense than that of the Dream Sidney Akeem?
Well, if anybody in our locker room could possibly have the answer to the question that is Sidney Akeem, it could be Gringo Loco. I mean, he's used to... Whoa! Look at the height on that one, Tempest. But the base god, Gringo Loco, 2 count only, is used to hanging out in the circles of strange. I mean, his tag team partner, Arez, is the king of strange style. So if anybody's got Akeem's number, it could be the base god here in our co-main event, semi-main event. How do you call this?
A picture-perfect moonsault is what I'll call that.
We still have a unification match coming after this, Tempest.
It just goes to show how much bang for your buck you get when you buy a ticket to see Demand Lucha at Parkdale Hall. Sidney Akeem tuning up the band now.
Oh, wow, Gringo.
It's turned into a German suplex for his trouble. And a big lariat drives him to the ground. Gringo Loco needs to capitalize.
Oh, just barely out. Sidney Akeem starting to show the wear and tear. Let's take a look at that move here. Look, channeling a little China there, up and down, and Gringo, almost like a German, almost like a side Saito suplex, just went with the flow. Unbelievable action, and here another shot. Back to live action, and Gringo Loco trying to get the fans behind him here.
Gringo Loco probably going to be the first to his feet. Still reeling from going through that door earlier. But he is looking to go to the sky once again, perching Sidney Akeem atop the top rope. This is where things get particularly dangerous, where those years of experience on the part of Gringo Loco have to come into play.
It feels like Gringo's in firm control here. I'm not feeling too much resistance from Akeem. A couple of shots there, but Gringo, whatever he's got planned, most likely it's gonna hit. Holding him up there too, unbelievable. All the blood rushing to the head. Falcon Arrow. It's gotta be over, Tempest.
It's gotta be over. A delayed Falcon Arrow off the top rope. But only good for a 2 count. The unbelievable resolve of Sidney Akeem keeping this one alive.
Gringo Loco turning red. He is overheating. He's had a hell of a week. He's flown here, flown there, and now he's in Toronto. And does he have enough to put away Sidney Akeem?
I'm sure he thought that he had just hit his last best bullet, but he's gonna have to dig a little bit deeper into that bag. Catches a super kick from Sidney Akeem.
Right on the chin and there, side of the face. Akeem finally getting some momentum going on here. Come on, kid. Become the new Universal Champ. What the hell was that? Corkscrew like whoopee cushion or something?
It was like a seated senton almost. But it took Gringo Loco off his feet. Multiple rotation, the backflip cutter. This could be it. This is his best shot. 2. And Gringo Loco grabs the rope. We almost had a new DDT Universal Champion.
We've already mentioned the veteran stylings of Gringo Loco, the in-ring experience, the years and years knowing exactly where he is, and it's paying off right here, retaining the championship. Well, not retaining yet, but still the champion. Can he do it, Tempest?
For the moment, he's holding on to that championship. We talk about all of the great factors that go into a wrestler like Gringo Loco, but perhaps less pronounced is the presence of mind to be able to grab the ropes in a time just like that. It sets him apart from the competition. And now Gringo Loco looking to put away the competition, at least for this match. One more big move. Although Sidney Akeem keeping his dream alive of becoming the DDT Universal Champion. That big kick now has Gringo Loco in a very precarious situation atop the top rope. They're jockeying for position.
Oh, big headbutts.
Whoever's gonna have the easier time hitting one last final move. Right now, it looks like Gringo Loco
pulling him up by his dreads saying, get up here, kid. That hurts, Tempest.
What could we be about to witness? Oh my goodness!
What the hell was that?
That was like an inverted Olympic slam. That's gotta be it. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah. Talk about innovation.
Successful in his first Canadian defense of the DDT Japan Universal Championship.
Well, Gringo Loco, of course, no stranger to all the fans here, the fans that allow him to bask in this ovation, but now notching his first defense of that prestigious championship, a championship that has been held by other greats of this business, people like Chris Brooks, people like Miyu Yamashita, people like Matt Cardona, and Gringo Loco once again proving why he deserves to have his name listed amongst the other greats in DDT's history. Still your Universal Champion.